If you have a clothing or apparel brand and you're stuck on trying to figure out what campaign to run and how to structure your campaign for meta ads, then this video is going to be super valuable for you, because I'm going to show you a great way of how you should be structuring your ads. And I have tested so many different ways. I know there's so many different gurus on YouTube that show you different ways of how to structure your campaign, but this is specifically for clothing and apparel brands. And what I've seen is when I've switched over to this model, it has dramatically decreased the cost per acquisition. So I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up in this video today. Let's go. By the way, my name is Brianna Wiggins. I run Get Conversions, which is a meta ads agency specifically for e-com brands. I've been able to manage over $2 million in ad spend, help countless number of brands scale past 100K months. And then all my videos, everything I show you comes from real clients and real results. Let's get into it. All right, so before I actually build this out, let me show you why structure is still important. So a lot of clothing brands that I know and I see their ad account, I audit their ad account, they'll have a ton of different campaigns, right? They'll have 5, 6, 7 campaigns. And all that does is really just like compete against each other, all right? So you don't want to have all these different campaigns, different audiences stacked on top of each other, 20 different assets in each campaign, right? It gets super, super messy and very hard to manage over time. So I'm gonna show you the best way that I like to set up these campaigns, because it's super easy to manage. All right, so it's gonna be one campaign, CBO, and you're gonna have all of your testing within this one campaign. All right, so all I'm gonna do is go ahead and click create, and then I'm gonna hit sales, continue. I'm just gonna name this, let's say top of funnel, corrupted, say hoodies, CBO. All right, and sometimes I like to just put the date I started this, so 8/02. All right, so now for the catalog, I'm going to turn this off. Do not use catalog. All right, and then we're gonna keep this as a campaign budget. All right, so asset budget, the budget is at the asset level. Campaign budget is at the campaign level. All right, so we're gonna let Meta handle the distribution of the budget. All right, so I like to start at $50 if you're a newer brand, never really ran ads. Start at 50. If you've ran ads before and you're comfortable with spending, I would just start it at $100 a day. All right, so that's pretty much it for the campaign level. Going to go ahead and hit next, and then for the ad set level, I am going to rename this Broad USA Women 18 and up. And we are optimizing for purchases. All right, so who you're targeting, which is broad, the country, USA, men and women, or if it's a product just for women, you just put women here, or if it's just for men, you put M there for men. The age, so 18 and up, and then what you're optimizing for. So optimizing for purchase, put that there. Website, maximize number of conversions, make sure your pixel selected, make sure the conversion event is purchase. And we're going to continue down. Here you can pretty much start at 11:59 p.m. All right, so here we have our United States. All right, I'm going to hit show settings right here because I do want to change this to women. I'm just going to use this as a suggestion. I'm not going to force it to do women, but for the most part, it's a women specific product. So my suggestion is women right here. No detailed targeting. All right. So the old way of running ads is you would target like fashion, clothing, Fashion Nova, right? Like Louis Vuitton, all these different brands and different interests. But now I like to just do open targeting and allow the creative to do the targeting for me, because of Meta's algorithm is much more intelligent now. So I'm just going to keep this as is, and then I'm not going to touch any of the placements. I'm just going to keep it automatic, and then we're going to go ahead and hit next. All right, so here we are at our ad level. I'm just going to go ahead and hit add. So I'm going to name this, let's do our videos first. All right, so I'm going to do 01, and we're going to do video, and then we're going to do butter. All right, so the first video that I'm actually going to test is this butter set video. How I like to actually structure the creative testing, because one, this is our prospecting campaign, but it's also our testing campaign. All right, so another old way of doing things is you would have a ABO for testing, and then you would have your CBO or a different type of campaign for scaling. I like to just do it all in one. It just makes it so much easier. All right, so with these different ad sets, each ad set is going to be for a specific angle. All right, and what I mean by angle is like a specific reason that someone would buy your product. All right, so people have different motivations for actually buying a product. So one could be lifestyle, one could be quality, confidence, identity. All right, so the three angles that I'm just going to set up today is going to be lifestyle, it's going to be convenience for the hidden pocket, and then it's just going to be another hidden pocket angle, but it's going to be UGC. So I like to split up the images in the videos. I don't like to put them under the same asset. So let's go ahead and set this up. This is going to be for our UGC convenience hidden pocket angle. So another thing that I like to do is for the ad sets, you want to prefix this so you do know what you are testing. So right here, I'm just gonna put convenience. It's gonna be our convenience angle. All right, so going back here, we are going to go ahead and upload our video. First, let's just go ahead and put the website here. All right, I like to turn off shop. All right, so we're gonna add a video. I like to turn off site links. I turn off all this stuff pretty much. Site links, website summaries, make sure all that is turned off. I do not use catalog, cool. All right, so I already got some videos here, but if you wanted to just upload from your computer, just hit upload right here and just find the file. So I'm just going, this is the butter set, so I'm gonna click this one actually. Next. All right, we're gonna add our primary text. All right, so I just added the primary text. So I usually do a short one, a medium one, and a long one here. And then for the headlines, I just test 3 different headlines. So the pocket you didn't know you needed, oversized comfort built to last all summer, only 100 made, grab yours before it's gone. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure the call to action is shop now. And then we're gonna go ahead and hit next. And then just make sure these Advantage Plus creative enhancements are off. Next, done. And the absolute last thing that you want to make sure you turn off is this related media. Make sure you turn this off because it's just going to add some other stuff here. So just delete it. All right, so we got our first ad. Pretty much just duplicate this, add our grape one. So I'm just going to hit duplicate. Grape set, this like hey. All right, so I'm just gonna go in, remove this, add media, add video. We're just gonna swap this out for our grape video right here. Next, go through all this. All right, perfect. So we have these. Now I want to test my next angle, which is we have our convenience, but for static images. All right, so I'm just going to duplicate this ad set level. Go ahead and hit duplicate. You want to toggle that off, continue, duplicate. All right, so this is going to be 2, still convenience. So I'm remove that copy. Go here, we're going to rename this to 02A image butter set. All right, and then once again, just remove this. Add image, gonna hit upload. All right, so I could do this one. Everything you need, 0 purse. Hit next. Make sure all of these are turned off. All right, and for this one, I could be more descriptive too. I'll say everything you need. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing here. It's gonna be 2B. It's gonna be image, grape set here. All right, so we got this one, and then let's say we had one more here. And honestly, I wouldn't do more than like 3 or 4 per ad set. At least I don't like to. So if I had, let's say, 6 different convenient static ads that I wanted to test, I would just duplicate this one again and just like you know, separated out. So maybe like 3, 3. All right, so I'm gonna duplicate this one time. Let's add one more image, duplicate. And then one thing I want to do here is update this. All right, cool. Then this one, this is gonna be 02C. Should be butter. And let's just say comparison. All right, so move this. All right, so bam. So this one's comparing Corrupted's hidden pocket to just a normal pocket. Never lose your lip gloss again. So once again, although this is like a comparison type of ad, it's still under convenience. All right, so we have all 3 of our ads under here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is duplicate this one more time because we got one more angle. And this is going to just be our lifestyle angle. All right, so I'm just going to go duplicate at the ad set level again. Gonna go continue 1. So this is going to be 3. It's gonna be lifestyle, and just remove this. So butter set beach. I'm just gonna go down, swap this image out, same thing, remove media. All right, so we got this one. Let's go, same copy. Just gonna keep going through. Here we go. And then our very last one, and I'm gonna delete this last one right here because we don't need this since we only have 2 under here. Okay, so this one, swap it out, swap it out. All right, and here we go. So this is the last image. Now, obviously, if you have more, you want to test different angles, you would just duplicate the asset and just add in the images or videos that you have. But this is pretty much how I like to set up my ads. And then once you publish this and, you know, it runs for, let's say, 3 to 5 days and you see what's working, what's not, you can turn off the one that isn't working, but the goal is to continue to test every single week. So let's say next week you want to test some more creatives, you would just add a new ad set in here and it won't affect anything because the learning phase is at the ad set level. So let's say I had another creative that I wanted to test. I'm not going to add it under an existing ad set. I'm going to just create a new ad set and test all of my new creatives under there. Same structure, the same way we did it, testing by angles. But do not mess with the already published ad sets. Every single week, you're gonna just continue to test, all right? The goal is to find a winning ad, but you want to make sure you are proactive rather than reactive, all right? So you find a winning ad, let's say that one starts to burn out after a couple months and you just wait in and then the performance goes down. We don't want that, all right? We want to continue to test and find new winners every single week. So make sure you are continuing to test new creatives. All right, so that is the full structure of how I like to test. If you have any questions, just comment below in the comments and I'll make sure I reply back to everybody. So this is the exact setup that I use for every clothing brand I work with, from brands doing 5K a month to brands doing 100K a month plus. All right, so the structure does not change for me. The only thing that changes is the budget and the amount of creatives that we're testing. All right, so if you do want me to help you build this out, just go ahead and apply below to Get Conversions, my agency where we help e-com brands scale with meta ads. And if you want to just get some free value and you want to sign up for my newsletter, that link will be below as well. I'm going to be posting 2 times a week, just giving you value and tips on how to scale your brand, whether that's with meta ads, creatives, different AOV tips, different ways to increase your average order value, increase your conversion rate. All right, the whole goal is to help you scale from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. All right, so hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. Like and comment, give me some feedback, give me some topics on what else you want me to go through, but appreciate you and I'll see you on the next video.